I should be asleep right now, but I've been wanting to do this video for a while, and it's made me kind of anxious, and I've been thinking about it and thinking about it, and I've been saying that I wanted to do it since my resolutions video, and even before that. This was the video I wanted to do before that, but time wouldn't allow. So and it kind of goes against what I was taught, how I was trained. I mean, I'm reminded of that every time I hear like MB Wrestler when he first started, or Monoxide when he first started, or Master Boo Boo when he first started. You know, you become a student, and you can't criticize the business. It's all about respect. Having respect, you become a veteran. Then you have an opinion. Fair enough. You know, you don't want to be blackballed, blacklisted. You don't want to be that. You don't want to burn any bridge. You always want work, especially on the indies, especially in Texas. You want to work every week if you could. You know, so you got to respect the business, and I do have an immense respect for it. Again, that's why I've agonized over doing this video, but now's the time. I mean, even when I first started, I wouldn't even go, I'd go on message boards where stuff would be talked between wrestlers, and I wouldn't chime in. I'd just read and kind of chuckle. It's like, whatever. A lot of guys talking. Didn't care much for it. Again, I was opinionated, but I never made it public. And when I got on here, I was, like I said, reluctant to really be open about things, because again, I don't want to be perceived as a critic or talking out my ass or anything like that. I'm a wrestler, first and foremost. And I, again, have immense respect for the business. But with 2011 around the corner, and me wanting to make a kind of wipe the slate clean, I figured it's time to just kind of purge the bad feelings. Some of the gripes I've had over the last few years about things, about the way things are done. And I'm going to share them with you. And I'm not going to be specific. I'm not going to name names or anything like that. But at the end, with time allowing, I will give you story time, and I will be specific. So let's get through these. Shows cancel, I understand that. Cancel all the time. Indie wrestling, that kind of happens. The economy, the way attendance is lately, I can understand shows get canceled. They get canceled. Venue, money's not right. Again, attendance, economy, it happens. You deal with it. Usually I want a week notice so I can make other arrangements if possible. And since I'm going to start hyping everything on here and Facebook and all of that, like come see me on the January 1st in Seguin for TWF, or come see me the 15th at STW in Port Arthur, or go to Austin and watch me defend the TCW title for the very first time this time around. Oh, and the STW show is a title match, me and Cash going for the belt, so I could potentially be a double champion by the end of the month. Or by mid-month, because I'll win the STW. Who knows? Anyway, so like I said, you know, what I couldn't stand is getting to the venue, thinking the show's going to happen, being caught off guard when things aren't arriving, and then you come to realize, okay, maybe the show's not happening. But wait, they told us to be here by 6, it's 6:15. They calling the booker or promoter and finding out then. Man, I know as a booker, I hated like last minute cancellations. I'd hate it. I'd hate when a guy would call me and be like, man, I can't make it. And it's like, man, the show started. You know, by then I've already come up with a plan B or C. But couldn't stand it. So I wouldn't want to stand it from with the promotion doing it. I mean, either way, it's disrespectful. Dealing with opposing views from a booking committee, and that usually only, I don't mind that so much. It's like being told one thing from one member of the booking committee, and hey, it's going to happen like this is what's going to happen, it's going to lead to here, da 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 da. And you kind of get painted this picture, and you're brainstorming, and you maybe you talk to the guy, your opponent, and you want to work out a pretty good match, so on and so forth, because you're going to lead to this. Great, we have a story, now we know where we need to go with it. And it's like that up until the pre-show meeting, and all of a sudden it changes, and you're never given a reason. I mean, it's like, oh, man, you know. So now I don't even ask. It's like, just if you want to give me detail, great. If you don't want to get married to it, then don't. If you don't want to write it in stone, then don't. If you want to write it in like erasable marker, that's cool. Dry eraser board, I'm fine with that. Just let me know when I need to know. The assumption or lack of assumption of heat. People thinking I have heat with them when I don't, because I have heat with no one. I don't have a problem with anyone. I'm a happy-go-lucky, laid-back kind of dude. Notice the cool robe. But seriously, I don't have heat with anyone, and I've had to clear it up, so I'm clearing it up now. I don't have heat with anyone. Not a single soul at this moment. I also don't know of any heat. I don't want to hear it secondhand. If someone really has a problem with me, I'd like them to speak up. This will be important later during story time. This also kind of ties into the not knowing when you do something wrong. It's kind of an unspoken wrestling rule. I can't stand it. It's like some people had a problem with me wearing PJs. It's my style. It's what I do. I mean, come on. It's bedtime all the time. Seriously, you know, some people, it rubs people the wrong way, or my attitude rubs people the wrong way or something like that, but you're not told directly. It's like all indirect. Can't stand it. The double standard, I won't even get into this. No need. If you really want to know, come and ask me and we'll have a conversation, but I'm not going to put it out there. Just not going to open it. No. Empty promises of any kind. Can't stand them. Don't need them. And finally, not getting paid what I was told I was going to get paid. Like, hey man, you're going to make X amount. Sweet. Awesome. Okay, so I do it in my mind, and then you get there, you know, you still have to wait to get paid at the end of the show, which is fine. I'm used to it. But to be told, oh man, we didn't, the door, I get it. I see the attendance too, because I'm paying attention to how many people are in there usually. It's like, you know, just be straight with me. If what I'm asking for is above your budget, just let me know that and we'll work it out. So there you go. Now, story time. I've really struggled with wanting to tell this story. I mean, it's been 2 years, a little under 2 years since this happened. To begin with, and as a disclaimer, I don't have heat with anyone. I don't have a problem with anyone. I don't have an issue with anyone. Not even the people that I'm talking about. Got no problem with anyone. This is my side of the story. There are multiple sides, so feel free to ask them, because I'm going to mention them by name. A couple years back, I was looking to get into NWA Southwest. I wanted to perform on a big stage. NWA Southwest was possible. It was possible to move further, maybe go to NWA Hollywood, get seen. I was looking for that. I want to perform on the big stage. I've always thought that. Always felt comfortable there, or feel like I could be real comfortable there. So there you go. Talked to Ken Taylor. He told me NWA Southwest was branching to different companies, and you know, you'll see them now. Wow, out of Houston, ICPW at one point in Austin, then it became TCW in Austin, GCWA in Corpus, I think NSF in Amarillo, I could be mistaken. But anyway, long story short, a lot of companies. And Ken said, you know, you just got to get on one. Well, I live in Houston, and Austin, I knew the guys, so those were the two that I was talking to. On top of that, I went back to PCW and TASW in an attempt to just get work. I was looking for work. Those were places I liked. I felt comfortable working. No big deal. I started utilizing YouTube, you know, telling people what I was doing, where I was going, so on and so forth, speaking highly of companies. I never tried to disrespect anybody at all. I don't think I ever, you know. Anyway, me and Ken talked. Michael Faith was going to become the Texas Heavyweight Champion, or he was in line. I wasn't in the rankings, but there was talk and speculation that I could. You know, I just have to start wrestling guys, be guys within the rankings. It started with Michael Faith. I'd worked for a while for a couple of times. Prior to this, I'd put over their locker room, said there were no politics. I respect Tug, I respect Chaz. To this day, I still have respect for them. I mean, their contributions into the wrestling business. I don't have an issue with them. So anyway, I get told me and Faith are going to fight to a DQ finish on the November 14th show, which would in essence kind of put me in line. I'd have a reason to challenge him again in December, and potentially the trifecta would be in January in Amarillo. That was what my understanding was come October. That's what I was told. That's how I left that October show. So I did my best to hype it up. I talked about different things. I talked about a variety of things. I did Q&As because I want to get my face out as much as possible and hopefully generate some interest in where I was working to show that I'm a draw. So, you know, I speak highly of everybody equally. I'm asked about, you know, for the money, what school I would attend if I was a wrestler, and I said Booker T's. 5 rings, a great weight system, weight room, I mean, quality weight room equipment. Booker T is just the tip of the iceberg at the time that I was there. I mean, you had Umaga, rest in peace. You had Mysterio, you had that would come in. You'd have guys like Shelton Benjamin and MVP and Charlie Haas just show up on a regular basis. You had Crime Time show up for a bit. Layla show up for a bit. You had Undertaker make an appearance. You had Rob Van Dam just sitting there talking to you about wrestling, about his love for wrestling, his passion for comic books. I mean, it was a no-brainer. So I was honest. Left it at that. Video came out, didn't think anything of it. Because again, I was putting over everybody. I put over WOW, put over ICPW, I put over whoever I was working with, because at the time, that's how I felt. I still feel that way. Any place I work, I'm happy with. But anyway, I digress. I get there on November 14th. Everything's changed. I was told he's going to beat me clean in the middle of the ring. I had no problem with it. Whatever. Mike, he's a great guy. We had a solid match. It's on YouTube. You can watch it. So there you go. Even I could have come out and said something on the 21st because I posted a video right after, but I didn't. December wasn't on the show, but I had been told from like August that I would be on the next set of shows, like 6-7 shows, at least through January. I was like, okay, that's cool. So I didn't get that booking. I didn't get the January booking. I started to hear rumblings. The rumblings are that Chaz had an issue with me. There was heat. Decided to email him, confront him about it. He said, no, there's no heat, but, you know, how can we book you if you're going to put over other shows? Meaning PWA, Booker T, again, was working there. PC, you know, TASW, I guess, or just the school. I'm not sure. Never been to Tug School, so I had no opinion of it. I was asked a question. I answered it. That was what I got from it. I've heard since that, you know, Chaz's reason for not putting me on shows or not asking me to come back is in part with IWE, that I purposely, you know, tried to disrespect him somehow by running a show that wasn't running on the same day as his, or the same week as his, or in the same part of Houston. I mean, Houston's a big metropolis, so we weren't running anywhere near each other. And his talent had a free will to do what they wanted, and they chose to come work. I've also heard that Chaz doesn't like me. And again, I don't really have an opinion of him negatively. I've said it before. I have respect for him and his dad's contribution. So there you have it. Story time. Sorry I rushed through it, but on the webcam you only have like 15 minutes. I found this out because this is the second time I've had to do this video. But luckily I still didn't have to edit. I want to thank my sponsor, Red Kool-Aid. I want to tell you, be on the lookout for my next video, which will probably be here shortly. It's going to cover my year in wrestling on the indie level, Texas indie level, as well as other stuff. So hope everyone has a Merry Christmas and enjoys their holiday. Eat plenty. I know I've been. Oh, P90X, week 4, still not as consistent as I like to be, but I'm averaging like 4 workouts a week. So that's not bad. I'll kick it full into gear after Christmas. That's my plan. So, and just in time, I'm going to be doing doubles. So, go figure. Again, stay cool, stay sexy, stay classy. I hate to end this quickly, but guys, thank you for your time. Thank you for your comments. Ask me questions. I'm willing to answer. Next week, my review of myself. Later.